for players under 12 and under 14. So that's the broad thing that we're doing this year. This is the first time that we are doing this. So we're very excited about this. And to give you a sense of why HCL, which is an IT and what I call diversified conglomerate, is looking at this, I just thought I'll just give you some sense of why we're doing this. So broadly, HCL is a brand. As a brand, HCL, what we do is we believe that from the space of IT and now from the space of healthcare and talent care, we touch various people's lives in various ways. And that's what our brand has been trying to do, has been trying to look at various people, figure out how we can touch their lives in whatever possible ways. So as part of this effort and part of building and actually touching people's lives, not just, let's say, just talking about it, but actually doing something about it, what we felt was we should look at figuring out where is it that we can touch their lives. And we think that the best ways to look at this is, one is of course sports. Sports is an important area where people participate, young people participate, and of course their parents and other people also are very interested in sports, as you can see from the latest Olympics. And the other areas that we look at are things like music and arts. And so these are the two areas that we've been supporting for a long time and we will continue to support. So from that perspective, we felt that tennis is a good place for us to focus our energies, and we've been looking at tennis and supporting tennis in some way from a corporate perspective to the extent that we can. And we started out with tennis in last year in 2015. We did a city tournament in Delhi, wherein we called children from various schools in Delhi and did a tournament. It was pretty successful. We followed it up with one in Chennai in February again this year, in the beginning of this year. And that was again very successful. So we had over 500 participants across these two tournaments from over 130 schools. So then the idea was born that that's fine, there's a city level, why don't we look at this as a national thing we could do for the sport, along with AITA, along with our partners, Mahesh Bhupathi Tennis Academies, and create something which is like a part of the tennis calendar of young people. So that is the hope, and that's what we want to do right now. And that's why we are sort of, building this this tournament here. And the broad details, of course, again, my colleague Gaurav, who's will talk about how exactly we're looking at this and what the key points are. We looked at Pune for the West Zone and Lucknow for the North Zone. So these are the four cities where we do this tournament. We start off with Chennai. Chennai is the first kickoff. We start off 27. And the first four tournaments are eligible for IITA rankings. And so many students and many players of the game can actually come and actually get what I call their rankings as part of the stuff that we do here. And so we have seen, I think, quite a lot of interest in this tournament as doing this and what exactly we're looking at. And just thought you sort of just come in right over to talk a little bit about this tournament.
Yeah, I think like Sundar said, HCL started off with inter-school 2 tournaments. We did one here last year, or actually this year early in February, and it proved to be quite a success. And I think we're happy that HCL has decided to extend their association with tennis. So the whole idea here is to tap talent at a young age, under 12 and under 14. In India, if you see, when I was playing, there used to be a lot of tournaments in under 10, under 12 and under 14. And that is where the kids used to get a lot of chance to compete and to learn how to handle victory and defeat and success and failure. Of late, we believe that there's not too many tournaments in India at the under 12 and under 14 stage, which is such a formative stage for the kids to actually pick up good or bad habits. So this junior tour is formed keeping that in mind, is to look at how we can tap the talent at the age of under 12 and under 14, and which is why what we've done is we've worked closely with HCL to do one tournament each in 4 zones, and the top 14 players would be selected for the Masters, which will be held in Greater Noida at their facility. And what we've also done uniquely is have what is known as a plate event, where the players who actually lose in the qualifying round, they also get a chance to play more matches. A lot of times what happens is parents are traveling with their kids from faraway cities to come and play tournaments, and then when you lose in the first round or you lose in the qualifying, it can get very demotivating. So to get the children to play more matches, we thought that we should do this, and I think that the response has been tremendous because a lot of parents have actually reached out to us and and told us, how happy they are that, even if their kids come, they know that even if the kid loses in the first round, which unfortunately happens, to most of the kids in the draw. If it's a draw of 64, 32 kids will lose in the first round, but the kids will then get to play more matches. I think from MBT's perspective, we've always looked at grassroots, focus on grassroots, and I think now, thanks to HCL, we are looking at actually, doing more tournaments to actually look at those grassroots kids who've now reached a certain level to actually look at, going ahead and, representing their state, then national, and then international, and, hopefully, at the next Olympics or at, for Davis Cup and for other tournaments across the world. Chennai always has been a great place for tennis, as you all know. Traditionally, there have been a lot of tennis players that have come from here. I think as of today, we have over 350 entries that we've received in Chennai, which, given that it's the first time that we're doing an under 12 or under 14 tournament, I think it's quite unprecedented. And totally across the country, we already have 700 plus entries, but we are definitely hoping that we will, not hoping, I'm quite confident that we'll cross 1,000 entries, because the last tournament finishes in the last week of September, so there's still a month to go for that. And but coming back to Chennai, this time we've obviously selected the stadium. The last time for the inter-school, we did it at another venue, but the stadium, the SDAT stadium where the ATP tournament is held, as all of you all know, is a great venue. Last time we could not get it, but this time we were, again HCL, we work very closely with them, and we're happy that we've got the stadium because the infrastructure is there. It's very, very central, and we hope that a lot of kids from Chennai and the surrounding areas, will come in large numbers to play. Out there, I think over the last couple of months, a lot of the top players who've been wanting to get ready for the clay court circuit or the hard court circuit in the US have gone and practiced there. I mean, Andy Murray and a whole bunch of top 100 players were there. So the idea of sending the kids there, and we did this last time as well, is at that age, to the kind of facilities, to the kind of practice sessions, to the kind of training that happens abroad. I was playing, and when we were all playing, our first trip abroad or the first 2 or 3 trips overseas to play tournaments, seeing all these other kids, dressed out fancily, having the best of equipment, having foreign coaches.